Hello, my dear Aries. This is your love and spirituality reading for the time between March 16 and March 31st, 2017 with me, Queen of Cups Tarot. So I now use the Legacy of the Divine Tarot by Zero Marquetti, and I will start shuffling your cards. I call the Divine with love and light. I call the 4 Archangels in the 4 corners of the world, and I call the 6 elements: Earth, Wind, Fire, Water, Spirit, and Ether to join us here today and to give us a clear view reading for my dear Aries viewers. So I want my dear Aries to have love in their lives and to find themselves in loving relationships. I also want you to have creative success and to find yourself walking on the highest path towards your highest destiny. So we have little cards jumping here. Ace of Cups and the Judgment Day. It's about your soul and your soul, how it speaks to you through your emotional body, your emotions. Okay, I also want to take the chance to tell you about the full moon that we have March 12. We will have the new moon March 28, and it will be visible at daytime, leaving the night really dark for stargazers. Earlier March 20, we will have the spring equinox in the northern hemisphere and the autumn equinox in the southern hemisphere. Okay, so I will just tune in for a few seconds. Okay, so my dear Aries, this is your future, and this is your now, and this is the past. So the now is probably the second half of March 2017, but whenever you watch this is probably the exact right time to see it. Okay, so the first card for you is Knight of Swords. Knight of Swords is usually Gemini. It can be Aquarius or Libra as well, but this card is special because it stands for like having 2 personalities almost. We can see here also it's birds of prey. They have this vision from above, and we see it's a storm cloud, it's a tornado coming, because the Knight of Swords, it's a rather intense energy. Sometimes it's you quarreling with yourself, you know, this voice in your head. Well, I shouldn't do that. Oh, I want to do it anyway. Yes, oh, okay, I can't go with more examples, but it's this quarreling going on in your head. You want to make an option, but you are quarreling with yourself how you should make that option or not, and if you're making that option, you quarrel with yourself again about how you made that option. It was the wrong choice. So it's typical Gemini, and it's also a rather reckless card. It's much the state that the world is in right now. It's imperialistic governments. It's people wants to have what other people have, but it's a young energy. Knight of Swords is like the young, reckless car driver that drive too close to the edges, and sometimes it results in bad things, but sometimes it's also results in beautiful things, like coming with new ideas to someone who didn't have those ideas before, but it's more like shoveling them down your throat actually. But the Knight of Swords is also good on leaving things behind, kind of cutting things off and moving ahead. So it's a very, as I said, it's a young energy. It's a knight, so it's very it can be a whole culture that is in this energy, and it can also be just one person. It can be something going on within you with the Knight of Swords. So he has a wing here coming out from his ears so he's flying really high, but from there you can see things from above as well, and one of those voices that you have is of course you, and one isn't. So you need to find out who isn't, because sometimes we get this voice in our head also because other people have made us doubt ourselves, so we continue doubting ourselves and our own behavior. Sometimes it's good if you are a reckless driver, you need to think twice and see the consequences from above of your actions. Not passing cars in curves, things like this. So Knight of Swords, intense. The next card is Two of Wands. So this is holding back. It's like stopping with the red light and need to have patience to make an option, to make a choice. So to see one's options and to make one choice. So it might be that it's some energy here, rather hasty, but that needs to be hold back a little bit. This is self-control. Sometimes it's also like two people not speaking to each other, and one needs to use the key to open the box. And which box will they use? Either you know, being together or breaking up. This could be one of the things if there has been a quarrel within a relationship or at a workplace or something similar. So the Two of Wands is kind of being strong, holding back your impulses, your flashes of things that you want to do. So it's kind of a red light. It's for a while. It's having patience, collecting yourself to find where you want to go from now, because one of these roads that you will choose is the one that you will choose is the one that's going to be it's the one that's going to be fulfilled, and the other one is going to wither away. So it's an important decision and you shouldn't rush into it. I'm talking in presence, and that's because some of you will watch in early March or ending of in early March, and then this can be in the now. So here we have a King of Wands, so that's probably you. It's Leo, Aries or Sagittarius. Usually it's Sagittarius, but to come here like a King of Wands after the Two of Wands. So it's like you need to make the decision. You need to make this choice. Maybe you have more knowledge on your hand because it comes like a king, and you have a knight here. So it might be that you need to be the grown-up person in any situation that this could be, where this choice needs to be made. And we see it's like horns here. It's almost like from a Taurus. So that's stubbornness and fertility as well. You also have dragons here in the background for divine contact. And it's your fire burning here, your creative fire. We also have a triangle in a circle. So that's your soul going down into a body, and arrows. So again, about choices, it's two here, two. So you need to make a choice. And it might be that you need to guide your more reckless side, your more impulsive side, your more aggressive side, maybe through some difficulties where you need to calm yourself down and hold your horses a little bit and not storm ahead, because a king, he's more careful because he has more experience, so he knows what to not do, and also he can see the consequences of one's action because of his experience. But the King of Wands is very good creator, very good on maintaining kingdoms. The next card here for you is the Emperor, which is actually you, Aries. We can see the symbol of Aries here. We also see the eagles once more. That might indicate that this is something going on within you, that you might have a young side to yourself that's a bit reckless, maybe talks before it thinks, and do things before you can see the consequences of things. So here comes the Aries. It's all, again, maintaining control, reaching your goals. So it seems like you have some goal that's very important for you, because you have both the King of Wands here and the Emperor. So something that you really want to reach to. So you're trying to keep one side of you probably under control, the more impulsive side, the side that says things that you don't really stand for after a while, because the Knight of Swords, frankly, is sometimes a bit egocentric, a bit much about me and what I want and my needs and things like this. And a true king, emperor, like this sees to everyone's needs, to not only your needs. So it seems like there's a growing up process where you're holding your impulses back and really growing up to this task that you want to fulfill, something that's really important for you, something that's really matter to you. A king and an emperor has a kingdom, a lot of people to take care of. If you would act like a Knight of Swords, that will have consequences for a lot of people and also for his kingdom. So he needs to think maybe twice. So the next card is the Hermit. So the Hermit is about, it's almost like this teenager state where you move away from your parents or from society, moving into a cave somewhere, an own apartment, and kind of forgetting all the rules that your parents have over you, and create new ones. So this is a state in human development where we sort out who we are. Okay, so I've learned everything from my parents, or have I? What is it that comes from me? Who do I want to be? So it seems like we have a teenager archetype on our hands. The Hermit is very good for this, to go in to and find out who you are, find out about yourself, what you want to do, what you want to accomplish, how you want to present yourself, and again, who you really are deep down inside. So maybe get in contact with this impulsive archetype and finding out what it wants, because it also has a divine force behind it. If we didn't have the Roman Empire, we wouldn't have developed this civilization so quick, and it spread the language and roads and writing all over Europe. So sometimes imperialism has a good side as well, not only this with stealing stuff from others. So you need to find out for yourself how to deal with this aspect of yourself that's a bit impulsive and sometimes starts wars with other tribes or in your partnership, things like this. So it seems like a lot of soul searching is on place here. So here we have the Star card, and the Star card wants to build on the ruins of this past tornado that flew by. It wants to heal the situation and everything that's kind of being tear down, even if it's a relationship by your words or by some other person's reckless words that you are now keeping. Maybe you don't want this person in your life, maybe you are shutting them out, but it seems like they are still for you. It's two souls here being mixed here in the river of time, and building on this old ruin. So it seems like if you have a relationship with either your teenager archetype or a person in your life that's maybe a bit self-centered, there's still work to be done and a lot of healing to be done, and probably it's something that you need to learn from this person as well. Maybe to be a bit egocentric too, or to see things from above, see things from another perspective, because this is Gemini, so it's thinking very quickly, being very smart, sometimes more smart like a narcissist, but and sometimes really quick, like someone that can really solve problems really quick, really fast. So it's different energies, it depends on how it's situated, and here it's situated with healing and seeing things from above, because this girl, she's also seeing things from above, from a universal perspective, as do these birds of prey here. So it's a lot of with two here. It's just a Hermit card that was alone. The other one has a lot of twos in them. So it seems like it's going on within a mutual relationship or two sides of you being mirrored. But here the Hermit is like kind of going off on your own for a little while, trying to find out who you really are. Who's the I in your I am. So the next card for you is Eight of Swords, and it comes underneath this Two of Wands. So it seems like this decision is not going to be the most easiest one. and it's like your problems is being enhanced here by the beautiful planet Jupiter. It's Gemini again. We see the symbol for Gemini here. So this is again you, your true self being entangled here, both by some clothing and some scarf over the eyes, but also spider web. Spider web is like destiny, so it might feel like you are a victim to your own destiny. And like you're entangled in the same situation over and over again, because it's an 8, so it's something repeating. And it's a lot of swords here, so that's other people's opinions of you, also the thoughts that you have on yourself, how you're judging yourself. Sometimes with the Gemini, it's this self-judgment going on. The parents' voices or the teachers' voices not ever stopped to be heard, always coming again and again, but it's you taking over the role as the accuser. So this is usually a situation that's really hard to solve logically or with strength, because it's an 8, so it has contact with, it has bonds to people. So it might be that you are very bonded with a person that's creating havoc in your life, or they are very bonded with you, creating havoc in their lives maybe. So it's not an easy way to solve this, and it's like you need to have a little bit patient and see what else will present itself. So maybe it's like, don't do anything for now. Try to just sort out your own beliefs in this situation, like the Hermit. Try to find what you think, your opinion, and start to align with that. That could be a good start, but sometimes you need to have more fact on your hands before you can solve a problem when you are in the 8 of Swords. But it's a person of your own making. You don't have to listen to those words. You can take a own decision, but then you need to be like this, very strong, probably. Maybe prove to someone that you don't need them, even though you do. The next card underneath the King of Wands is 7 of Wands. So 7 of Wands is again trying to sort. It's a lot of information coming maybe from your own feelings, a lot of impulses like but I miss the person, they are always rude to me, I need to work, I can't stay home, I need to do this, I want to do this. So a lot of impulses coming to you. It might also be a lot of demands from other people. So we see here that you are standing in a position almost being a ghost. So it's a imaginary situation, not in that sense that you imagine the impulses, but it's more going on in your psyche, like something going on with the Hermit here. So this person. So when you are alone, and can, or when you can go into your body, it's a better way of saying this. If you can be in your body whenever you feel those impulses, or whenever people are talking to you, saying different things that might make you upset, if you stay with your body, you'll get to know yourself better, and you will know your likes and you will know your dislikes. So you will be able to start sorting like what you want in your life. Even if you're not a teenager anymore, it seems like there's going on a little bit of this kind of sorting where you need to leave old rules maybe behind, old things, old way of being, old way of handling things, old way of reacting. And sometimes a really old way of reacting is your true way. So you might have reacted the same way your whole life and hope that someone would understand you. And maybe this is what you need to solve this problem, to really communicate your true self and hope that someone will understand you, to really tell like, well, I'm doing this, I'm acting like this because I feel very hurt, or I feel I have been through this and it's painful for me. I always react like this in those situations. So we have this fighter here, this warrior, underneath the King of Wands, and we have a warrior also underneath the Emperor, a 9 of Wands. So it seems like you're really fighting for something, really trying to protect something. You need to find out what you are protecting. Is it your own ego? Is it your own status? Is it a secret? something, other people. You don't want them to know. With the Eight of Wands in the background, it's kind of indicated that maybe communication would be good. That it could be good to let other people know what's going on inside of you, easier to understand you maybe. So it's a healing situation, but you're very entangled, and you're fighting a lot, maybe too much, maybe trying too hard, maybe fighting both yourself and others. See if you can stop with this. See if you can find out who you really are underneath all this quarreling, or it's also resistance. There's a lot of resistance here. So what are you resisting? What is it that you don't want in your life? How is it that you don't want to act? Resistance, whatever you resist persists. So it stays. So don't resist it. Align with it. If it's a reckless behavior or aggressive behavior, align with it and explain to people, okay, I'm getting really angry now because I feel like this. I feel trapped. I feel tired. I feel angry because of this and this. And you can start communicate how you feel. It's like something that's under pressure here, or hidden, or maybe people are more quarreling about who's winning instead of talking about how they really feel or what they really want. So it's more like a war without people knowing why they are at war. So the last card here in this row for the now is the Queen of Swords, and it comes underneath the Hermit. So they are very much the same energy, even though the Queen of Swords isn't a teenager. She's more like the oracles of Delphi. She knows stuff. She has seen it. She has seen it her whole life, and silently judging people in her surrounding because she sees that they are kind of acting crazy. They are doing crazy things. But she's not talking. She's not talking because she knows it's kind of hopeless to get into the fight and try to talk, because it will become worse. But I think this is your time for your seeing side to start talking. Say the things you see clearly, and with a bit of diplomacy, because the Queen of Swords has been a diplomat for her life, keeping quiet about what she sees. So you have this talent of pretending like nothing's okay, pretending like there's no problem. So you can use this, being a little diplomatic, and probably end the war. Because if people understand each other, if they understand each other's point of view, they don't need to go to war anymore. They don't need this. And when you start to also see your own behavior, what's triggering you, what's making you become angry or reckless or in this fighting mood, you can go back and see what was it that hurt you from the first time, because you have those triggers, different things happening, and then you are overreacting to a situation that's in the now, that's probably doesn't have so much to do with the thing that happened from the first, that wounded you or traumatized you from the beginning. But you can use those situations to communicate and clarify yourself. Okay, I'm getting really angry now because I feel abandoned, because I feel I'm not important to you, or because I feel like you're not listening to what I'm saying. So that's why I getting triggered right now. And you can go back to the past time you felt like this, or even the first time you felt like this. And just by experience those situations, it will start a healing process. So it seems like you have a lot of visions, oversight. You have both the Knight of Swords, the Hermit, the Star, the Queen of Swords. So you have an overall vision, but the situation itself seems to be like people wants to win or wants to act accordingly to certain rules or regulations that have been presented for them maybe when they were children. And now they are acting again with these patterns, creating a lot of war, a lot of havoc in their lives, when they are really smart and have ability to see things from above, look into themselves, know what's needed to be for healing, to build upon the ruins, and being able to judge the situation just by one glance and see the whole picture. So you have a lot of help here, but also a lot of resistance happening here in the middle. But you have two kings, one king and one emperor here. That's going to be very useful. If you can use them to unite instead of divide, that will be great. Okay. And this is your future. So we have death here. And that was what I hesitated to say with the Knights of Swords, that it's something, sometimes when there's reckless driving, it's ending in this death card. You can see on those masks, the mask is like the skull here, and the bird, one of the bird, have flown too close to the cliff and crashed. It's also a spider here creating a web, your destiny. We have the other Gemini spider web here, creating your destiny. So it might be like you're feeling trapped to the same situation repeating, some kind of destiny, but you're not trapped. It's just coming again and again, so you can see it and you can change. You can do something totally new. You also have Scorpio here, that's for transformation. The horse of death, and it looks like a unicorn actually, and it's about you need to really see your true emotions, emotions behind this. The death card is also traditionally very much a snake, because the snake shed its skin, and it's also something that can lead to death if you are being bitten by a snake. And it's also used in medicine, because the death is also a card for healing. Healing of old situation, not doing the same mistakes again. It's like you have a chance here to do something totally different, to change things. It's a white rose here, pure pure intuition, pure intentions is what I'm trying to say. Pure intention. If you can have pure intention, show other people your pure intentions. Okay, you just give up in the middle of a fight. You give up and you say, well, I don't want to quarrel, but I really need you to understand me, how I'm thinking in this situation. That would open a lot of doors, like the door to death, where new things can come in. The door to death it's both the door which we come from when we come to life here, and it's also the road which we will go through this door. And when this door is being open in the middle of life, it's like a cold wind blowing through here, with a lot of new chances and new information, but also it's a little bit threatening, like this cross breeze in a dark house in the night. So it has a bit of uncertainty over it, but death is death rules everything. It's taking away old things to make places for new things. So I think the old way of being a bit reckless needs to go. You need to start to see what you have been protecting by acting a little bit cocky, by acting like you don't really care, because I think you do. The next card is the Knight of Coins, and we see the horns again from the King of Wands card. It's connected like this. It might be different people in your life. This could be a Taurus, a Capricorn, or a Virgo. And you also have Libra here, Gemini, Leo, Aries, Virgo again. So Aquarius also, a lot of different, Gemini several times. So the Knight of Coins is like it's like calming down, because you have a lot of problems here. You have an unsolvable situation. So the Knight of Coins is good on solving problems, but it is a little bit like a turtle. Takes his good time, but he's not giving up on his goals. He has firm goals, very loyal towards his goal, maybe very loyal towards his family or towards his friends or his work or whatever it is that you are feeling entangled with. And he wants to solve these problems with win-win situations. So he doesn't have to win on the sake of others. He can make a win for all people. So he sees things more like this. And it's this what I said with having patience. I think you need to have patience in this situation of choice which you need to make. We see the horse here. It's 2 horses again. So it's a lot of responsibility lying on this this reckless Gemini archetype within you or within another person that needs to change through healing, because probably they are traumatized. That's why they are driving reckless, or they just have a big appetite on life. We don't really know. But here are the 2 horses again. So and acting with their natural instincts, playing things out, maybe communicating things out, quarreling things out many times. With the Knight of Coins, it's like a long stretch of road here. So maybe it's not going to take one quarrel, but thousands. But not quarrel where you try to win, but where you try to make your voice heard and try to understand also the other person. So that's a bit different. That's creating win-win situations. So it might be a person that you could help you with this, to help solving problems or stabilize the situation a little bit. Or it's an archetype within you that's going to step in here. Underneath the King of Wands and the 7 of Wands, we have a 4 of Coins. So it seems like this king is not really wants to participate in this. It's like they are starting to defend themselves and stepping into their comfort zone. So here we have a little bit of stagnation, I would say. This is resistance. It's good resistance. It's almost like the teenage rebellion. You're starting to sort what you like and what you don't like, what you want and what you don't want. But here is like maybe retiring into a tower, not wanting to act together with others at all. But it can also serve as a community platform, that if you have certain rules for how other people need to act in your life, if you can say yes and no and start, it's like a house. 4 of Pentacles is like a house. So if you can start to decide, like, this is the way that people are going to treat me, and this is the way, if they have respect for me, they will follow my rules in my house. So it could be a platform for everyone to know those new rules. If you have decided what you like and you don't like, and you set boundaries, that can be really good. It's 13 here. 13, 1 plus 3 is 4. So it might actually lead to something that's a little bit boxed in, but it might be good. Maybe they have been lacking of boundaries. It's a lot of ego things happening here, but maybe it's for a good cause. Maybe it's like not building a tower of ego. Maybe it's building a tower of having boundaries, so other people can't come in and, you know, just take what they think are theirs and stamp on everything. When you have given them the reason to see your point of view and they start to understand you, they will also start to respect you. When you respect yourself, love yourself, align with yourself, communicate yourself, other people will start to understand you, and maybe this could create a calm platform for the discussion to continue. The next card is 2 of Coins, and it comes underneath the Emperor, the Aries. So the Aries seems to have a little bit more trouble here. Continue fighting, trying to bicycle here without steering wheel, through water, through emotion. This Capricorn and Jupiter, we had Jupiter also here. So Capricorn can sometimes be a little bit a victim. And here we have Jupiter, so victimhood enhanced, because you feel like you don't have control. You feel like you don't have the control in the situation at all. And coming here 2 and 2. So it's something still that hasn't been really sorted out. It's something where we still wait, and it's 2 again. So it needs to be a relationship in the bottom here between 2 people. But it seems like it could be a lot of people involved in this situation, having a lot of opinion about it, or trying to help you out, or it's a lot of your different archetypes coming in, trying to help things out. So the 2 of Coins is much like death. It's change. It's like change needed step by step here. It's talking a lot about slow going changes here. Maybe you can start to communicate one of the things that you have in mind, because here you have the Nine of Wands. That's the person usually that have been traumatized in a way, and therefore they have started to defend themselves, and they don't really realize that how they defend themselves is much like how those other people traumatized you from the first place, in the first time. So you can say that sometimes this is like doing to others what others did to you. Not like revenge, but more like protection, and like almost manning up and deciding that no one will do this to me anymore. But here it seems like those old soul contracts are in need of change. This is the karmic wheel, so it wants to change. The next card here is Ace of Swords. So it seems like your solution will come from your very smart inside, or maybe a counselor or the oracle in Delphi. We don't really know, but you see here it's this insights, all of those. So it seems like you need to sometimes retreat into a quiet place, or just feel your body from the inside. Think your thoughts from the inside and then spell them out through the world. Communication, the birds of prey again, really important. So, okay, so you need to start telling what this teenager person inside of you really wants to say, because maybe you were traumatized in a way in a very young age, and you started to defend yourself, like we see here with the Nine of Wands. And you don't have to, because I think you're among friends, even though it seems very tangled up. I don't feel that any of these persons in your life have a bad agenda. You just don't understand each other. So I think if you understand you and start to communicate you, that will be a beautiful, beautiful key to solving this situation, okay? So it's not an easy job, but someone got to do it. You need to start showing your true self, even if you feel that this is against your nature, because you have protecting yourself from getting hurt. But this all protection needs to go. It's not good anymore. It's not coming from a good place anymore. So for my dear Aries. Okay, yes. We have this present wave. It's not like the Eight of Swords. It's things that you are not saying. It's things that you experiences that you don't communicate. And it's self-sabotage, poverty of consciousness. And we see it's like you have your wings are enfolded and you're sitting here in this prison, and you don't have to, because the door is open and the sun is shining in. So having this troublesome time just because you have decided something for yourself that's not really true and not really according with your true beliefs. It's just how you're fighting to keep yourself alive almost, and you don't need to do this anymore, I think. So we have the World card here, communication, praise, dishonesty. Honesty seems to be very important, and communication seems to be very important. There's an exercise you can do with your feelings. You can start to see where in the body they are located, and if they have a shape, a form, a momentum, if they have a color, a sound maybe, or a taste, and then start talking like, why are you here? How do you want to help me? What is it that I'm not seeing? What's the lie I've been telling myself? That's a really good exercise. Okay, so it's about your inner child, about you becoming more and more like your inner child. So first we need to step back to your teenager state where you did revolution, because it seems like you have stayed in this state for a very long time. But eventually the arts, it's kind of your creativity, it's kind of your true expression. And this is a baby. So I think when you have reached a teenager, then you will have to go even further back to your inner child, to your inner, the first time when you came. But first, I think you need to go back to the teenager that made this statement: I will never ever let people treat me like this again. From now on, I'm the boss here, so no one will hurt me again. And since that day, you have been fighting your wars, and now you need to stop, because I think you're among friends. They don't understand you, and you need to make them understand you. So this will be a very beautiful healing process for many different of your different archetypes, or for many people in your relationships. You might have a relationship with a Leo or a Virgo, Libra here, Taurus, Gemini here. I think it's more like you. It's how you came when you were, how your decision that you made when you were a teenager, and that has put some troubles in your life because you have walked through the life being kind of a warrior, and that have probably helped you a great deal until now. Now you need to lay down your arms, I think, and start to create friendship instead. Okay. So thank you, my dear Aries, for all of you watching, liking, subscribing, and commenting to my videos. I'm really grateful. I'm also grateful for all of you watching all this far. So take really good care, and I hope to see you again in the beginning of April. And also happy birthday to all of you birthday celebrations out there. I usually don't remember the birthdays, but this time I did, so I guess you need to celebrate extra this time, because you're bringing back your true self, okay, the one that was born. Okay, bye bye.